looks like we got it ready from Scooty. Once we get it ready from Cobra, we'll be good to go. All right, we got it ready over here, so let's go ahead and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So this is the semifinals. Scooty already with the first misdrop of the game, third piece in. But it's all good. Just means that he's gonna be slowed down slightly. Cobra's gonna get the first touch of the game. Scooty, of course, Game Crasher, wearing the Game Crasher jersey, and also the first seed in the tournament. Had to go through Lapis and yours truly in order to make it here. Cobra, on the other hand, coming from the blue bracket, had an incredible game up against DMJ. It was down 2-1. And was able to win the next 2 games in pretty exciting fashion in order to make it here in the top 4. But now, start things off. Both players do have 3 Tetrises on the board, and we are actually tied. Not for too much longer, though. Scooty not quite able to find a piece to kind of resolve that situation. And this isn't going to be a Tetris either. There is a gap on row 2. So at best, it will be a triple. And a slightly dirty Tetris. As Cobra knocks down a regular Tetris, so 118 to 104.
Oh, did they start already?
Yep.
They started?
Yeah.
They started.
Oh, yeah, the round. Yeah. There we go. So 129 to now 143. Scooty still operating with this row 2 of column 9. Trying to go for these skims. Holding up with the long bar. There it is. Tetris over here for Scooty. And a Tetris for Cobra as well. Now Scooty forced to kind of build in another column. Because there's a lot of weight being put on top of that column 9. So Cobra is going to be able to take an early advantage here in the beginning. Column 9 is now open for Scooty, and he knocks down a Tetris, goes up to 186. Now it's back to the right-hand side, still on row 2, and actually decides to opt for the triple there. So now 247 for Cobra, 194 for Scooty. And, okay, the T and the S actually going to work out pretty nicely there. Bad timing on that S and T in particular. So now we could see Scooty go for row 3. He's going to go and bank on the L piece. Does find the L piece. Well is now open, and a slightly dirty Tetris will be scored over there for Scooty. 294 for Cobra, 222 for Scooty. Scooty is only a couple lines away from being burned down back at the bottom. As Cobra knocks down yet again another Tetris. Nice triple will be burned over there for Scooty. And a great T oriented to the right. A little bit of jagged left though. So going to be needing some pieces to kind of correct the parity. And with that Tetris, Cobra now has a 150,000 point lead. 386 to now 258. We're a little bit over 2/3 through the level 18. And of course, we'll be seeing level 19. Tetris will be scored by Cobra, and Tetris will be scored by Scooty. Nice, the adjustment. Going to accommodate that J piece perfectly. Cobra going to be patiently waiting for the I piece. Board is going to be able to burn basically anything that comes his way. So this is a great board for drought mitigation because that's exactly what we're experiencing right now. A double is going to be forced, and it's going to go for the aggressive placement on the L and actually finds the I piece. And gets the proper pieces to fix the kind of jagged board afterwards. So things are going to be looking stable over here for Cobra as we head into the, or past the 100 line barrier. 485 now for Cobra. 357 for Scooty. The Tetris going to be scored over there for Cobra. 509. 4 Tetrises are on the table. That's assuming perfect play. Otherwise, we're going to be having 3 Tetrises likely. There it is. Another Tetris will be scored for Cobra. 1 more remains until the level 19 transition. As Scooty will be trailing by 140,000 points at this moment. Makes a small misdrop. Creates 2 eyepiece dependencies. Covers up 1 temporarily with the S-piece. But guess what? We're running into a drought right before transition, which means that dependency won't be addressed. Cobra transitions with a Tetris at 582, fills in the eyepiece dependency immediately, and Scooty transitions at 417. That eyepiece is going to find its way in column 1. And Scooty bringing the stack all the way down. Beautiful tuck on the L. The well is now open for Scooty. And a Tetris will be scored. 449 to now 635. Definitely a hot game in Cobra's hands right now. Now Scooty, board under control, so he can start to match Cobra's efficiency. And if Cobra were to run into situations, Scooty can be given an opportunity to surpass it. Another skim over there for Scooty. Tetris for Cobra, Tetris for Scooty. 502 to now 690. Good pieces. Another Tetris for Scooty. Goes up to 529. Cobra almost with a 200,000 point lead, but Scooty's starting to fight back. Down by 150,000 at the moment. Another Tetris will be scored for Scooty. Would love an L or an I piece. Either or would work here. Finds neither. Sets up an ambitious delay burn over here with that T piece. Needs another I to fix things up. Finds that I piece. Fills in the dependency. 1 Mino or 2 Minos away from being Tetris ready. That burn is going to do it. Scooty's now Tetris ready. 590 for Scooty. Added Tetris goes up to 619. Cobra, on the other hand, 808 added Tetris goes up to 838. Incredible game for him right now. Another Tetris for Scooty. Trying to fight back. Another Tetris for Cobra. Another Tetris for Scooty. He's going to be set up for another one as well. Another Tetris for Scooty, but having to do a little bit of burning. And those S pieces are not quite what he was looking for. Would love a Z piece though. That T piece is going to work perfectly. Another Tetris for Cobra. 905 for Cobra at the moment. Scooty once again now a annoying left to deal with. Wasn't able to get the right orientation on that T piece to make use of the J piece. And that J piece coming at an unfortunate timing, but Scooty is staying alive. 723 to now 975. That's 1 Tetris away from the max over here for Cobra. Gets Tetris ready with the I piece and maxes out. 810 now for Cobra. Scooty at 765. Another Tetris for Cobra. Almost a 300,000 point lead. And it's not over. Level 29 is at play. Scooty, nice set of burns, trying to keep the well open. Oh, that T placement was beautiful. What a burn. Another Tetris over here for Scooty. 842 to now A93. It's 1,093,000 points. One more Tetris available for both players. Cobra finds it. Scooty does not. Goes into level 29. Knocks down the Tetris. There is 914 to now B34. Scooty trying to get Tetris ready. He knows he's down by a lot. Nice burns. The well is now open over here for Scooty. There's a Tetris over there for Scooty. Cobra does a skim. Getting up high, but knocks in a Tetris as well. Scooty is Tetris ready. Another Tetris over there for Cobra, and another Tetris for Scooty. 993 to now C46. Cobra and Scooty are both Tetris ready. Another Tetris for Scooty. Cobra hits the tuck, opens up the well, and knocks down the Tetris. C87 for Cobra. Scooty at A71. Another Tetris for Scooty goes up to B10, starting to make a comeback, knocking down these Tetris with ferocious accuracy. Another Tetris is going to be set up over here for Scooty. Holding up for the long bar, finds it, gets set up again. And there's another Tetris for Cobra, and another Tetris for Scooty, B89 to now D38. Another Tetris for Cobra, and Scooty knocks down another one. It's just back and forth with both of these two. That's C30 to now D85. 150,000 points is what separates them. Another burn over there for Scooty into a Tetris. Cobra has been having a burn, so this has been points that Scooty has been able to come back on. That's another Tetris over there for Scooty. Has closed the gap within 2 Tetrises. Cobra is experiencing complications. Cobra gets the eyepiece over. Both players knocked down a Tetris. D58 to now E45. And right now, Scooty is Tetris ready. Cobra can't, oh, that's a hang. Scooty needs the eyepiece and he needs it now. Where's his eyepiece? He needs it, can't find it. Scooty is gonna top at a D59. Cobra with a masterclass all game long. Takes game number 1. All right, we got it ready from both players. Let's go ahead and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Cobra saying, let's do that again, and I'm all down for it. But throughout all that game, Scooty just had a rough 18 start. It all started from a misdrop on that 3rd piece, and he was kind of forced to get into these awkward setups, building up on row 2, row 3, column 9, column 8, dirty column 6. It was all over the place. And even on the post transition, we saw that Scooty kept up with Cobra for the most part towards the beginning. And towards the end, Cobra started to pull away. But if you looked at how the 29 was played, Scooty was being more efficient than Cobra, knocking down more Tetrises. It's just that Cobra had such a lead that was established over that level 18 and accentuated on that level 19 that allowed for Scooty, or that made it really difficult for Scooty to make that comeback. And after a misspin, Scooty already finds himself in some early trouble. There's a Tetris over there for Cobra. Gonna be able to close the gap. And that's a dirty Tetris over there for Scooty. And looks like Scooty's gonna opt to just kind of get the board back under control. And there is nothing wrong with that. The only issue is that the burns that you spin, getting your board back under control, is going to allow your opponent some burns that can be used for a Tetris. And in that case, that's exactly what Cobra has done. Cobra currently leads 191 to now 172. Now, Scooty just looking for an eyepiece. Gonna find that Tetris. Looking for the J piece as well. Tetrises will be scored over here from both. Ooh, Cobra, hold on. A little bit of a complication here. These burns are actually gonna force these players to end up at a near tie. Not quite, because Cobra pushed down for 4 points, so the chance that we could have had a tie there kind of got avoided. As now Cobra is cleaned up, and now Scooty is the one that's having to do some burning. Of course, while these players are stacking on level 18, remember, exclamation Lone Star to contribute to the prize pool. Prize pool is completely fundraised by you guys, the fans. Help reward these players for the amazing games that we've seen, not just over here on Monthly Tetris 1, but on Monthly Tetris 2 earlier. Definitely one that I would recommend watching if you're going back through the VODs, is Dog versus Huff. Right now, we're gonna focus on this one. Cobra having to go for a couple of burns here, holding out for specific pieces, and actually goes for the S flat there. A little bit of a gamble. Now there's an eyepiece dependency. Cobra set up for a dirty Tetris, gets the dirty Tetris, opens up the well, knocks down one Tetris, but it's not quite set up for the other. So 329 to now 389 at a Tetris. Cobra's score goes up to 412. Tetris will be scored over here by Blue Scooty. He's looking for a L piece. Now looking for a J piece. Finds that J piece, and actually it looked like Scooty was considering opting for the dirty there. Unable to find it. Tetris over here for Cobra. Now up to a 100,000 point lead. Is slightly ahead in lines. So there's just been these small mistakes that have happened on Scooty's board. More specifically, Cobra was able to build up a small lead early on due to a missed spin. And Cobra has been able to manage these high boards incredibly well. 3 Tetrises remain possible for Cobra with perfect play. Scooty still has 5 on the table. Of course, this is just the level 18 portion, and the gap is a lot closer than it was last game. But of course, it comes down to 19. Scooty will have to be able to be a bit more efficient. Ooh, just a couple of pieces that can work here. S piece was what he was looking for, though. Makes the adjustment, so that's going to be an isolated J piece dependency. Those O pieces making it over there to the left. There it is, Scooty now. Tetris ready to remain as Cobra already on level 20 with 589. Scooty takes a triple, waiting patiently for the long bar. The well is open, and Tetris for Scooty going to transition at 503, knocks down another one, goes up to 527. All right, Tetris over there for Scooty. Cobra able to find a Tetris on 20, going into 21. So just under 100,000 point lead for Cobra, but remember, it's also a level ahead, and especially when we get to those later levels, we can see that only take rather a level to make that comeback. There it is, another Tetris for Scooty. Had to do a couple of burns, nothing too serious. But now it looks like both players finding their groove. We're seeing Tetrises being chained together consecutively over here by Cobra. Very few burns in between. Definitely elevating the pressure that is being put on Scooty right now. There's another Tetris for Scooty. Gonna get set up for another one. Love that delay burn setup. There was a couple of ways to burn out of that cleanly, and he was able to get the pieces to find one. There's another Tetris over there for Scooty, a Tetris for Cobra as well. So still keeping the pressure on Scooty. Another Tetris for Cobra, another Tetris for Scooty. This ST dependency over there on the left-hand side can be problematic. Needs a J piece or an I, finds the J, now would love the I. Finds it as well, 731 and now 884 as Cobra goes into level 25. Scooty is on level 24 at 761. So right now trailing by 4 Tetrises. Another Tetris going to be scored over here by Scooty. Cobra is set up for a Tetris. No, Tetris by Scooty. A Tetris by Cobra misses the tuck though. So let's see, does this cost him lines? It cost him 1. Gets an I piece relatively quickly, so didn't really have a chance to kind of build up and potentially burn more lines. But there it is, max out for Cobra, level 27, 822, Scooty at 917. So we can see a level 27 max, not necessarily into, but in over here for Scooty. Definitely a closer game than what we saw last. 983 to now 857. Couple more pieces wanted over here from Scooty. Nice burns. 2 long bars. Decides to use one to fill in the dependency and the other to get Tetris ready. Very aggressive. The well is now open. There's the Tetris. There's the max for Scooty. Cobra already has the 1.1. Knocks down a Tetris. Goes into level 29 with B65. Scooty with 2 Tetrises available to him. He's going to take the skim. There's 1 Tetris. Cobra at C15. Scooty is the #1 seed in the tournament. And Scooty will transition. Beautiful triple with a BO5 into a Tetris on level 29. So B42 to now C30. Less than 100,000 points is what separates these two right now. Scooty having to offer a couple of burns. That O piece, not what he was looking for. And another misdrop. Hits the T-spin. Nicely done. Able to bring the stack down. Cobra is now in scoring position following that skim and knocks in a Tetris on level 32. B58 to now C78. Another Tetris over there for Cobra. Scooty is Tetris ready. Goes for the flat setup. Beautiful double into a Tetris. Now C flat for Scooty. Cobra up high. Having to do some burns. Able to down stack. Expertly done. Scooty with a couple of unwanted O's. And a Tetris will be scored, but now Scooty has to fix the stack. D74 to now C48. Scooty would love a J piece. A J piece is the perfect solution for this. Doesn't find it. Instead, having to use the I piece, so more burns are going to be forced. D81, Cobra. That left side is a little bit sketchy. He covers up the well, opens it up, able to. Amazing survival on Cobra's part. Scooty down by 130,000 points, but remember, has a lot of levels in hand. There's a Tetris over there for Cobra, and a Tetris for Scooty. D11 now, E39. Cobra is in trouble. Scooty with a clean stack takes a safety triple. He knows that he has some lines to play with. He has, misdrop over there for Scooty. He's Tetris ready. There's the Tetris for Scooty. Now he has to spin level 25, getting the board back under control. Cobra, look at this down stacking effort. Phenomenal play on his part. E60 and now D74. All right, Scooty burns all the way down to the bottom. At this point, 3 Tetrises are what separates them. Scooty is Tetris ready. There's one Tetris, E30 to now E60 or E80. There's another Tetris. We're now separated by less than a Tetris here, and Cobra's closing in on level 29, or not level 29, level 39. We do have super kill screen on. Scooty, that's a triple. He takes the lead. Cobra needs this eyepiece. Can't get it over. E95 to now E98, and Scooty is good for game number 2. That is ridiculous play on both players' part.
Wait, what's a triple work on 38?
Absolutely ridiculous. We still got Miles and Dog on the other side. So definitely exciting. And we got ready, so let's go ahead and count them down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Now, I do want to remind you that the past 2 games, Scooty has been able to have better post play than Cobra. In the first game, Cobra just had such a massive lead that he walked into 29 with. It was going to be a very difficult challenge for Scooty to overcome. And last game, it was a lot closer. Scooty did have a pace advantage and was able to just have a little bit of better 29 play. But that was also on top of Scooty just being outplayed on level 18 for the most part. So if we see a game where Scooty is able to keep a closer margin with Cobra, then we can definitely see Cobra being pushed especially hard when it comes to the 29. But with that being said, this is game number 3 of your first semifinals match between Scooty and Cobra. It looks like Cobra is going to already build up a 1 Tetris lead. Scooty just had a little bit of a awkward formation at the beginning. He was able to get out of it a lot quicker than the situations we've seen earlier in this match. And so far, things are looking pretty stable. Cobra has been able to build up another Tetris lead as both players are going to be able to knock down a Tetris. 149 to now 185. Nice adjustments so far. Tetris is going to be scored over there for Scooty. 195 to now 210. And Cobra with a 2.5 Tetris lead. But it looks looks like things are going to be stable. There's not a lot of drama that's going on. Both players stacking really clean. It's just been those minor inefficiencies on Scooty's part that have allowed Cobra to build just this 2.5 Tetris lead. And all it takes is for Cobra to have some sort of mishap or failure to utilize long bars for Tetrises, and Scooty can easily recuperate that deficit. Scooty is actually going to be looking for a J piece here. J piece is the piece that can be used to solve this. And there is no J piece. Comes a bit too late, so now the piece requirement changes, and Scooty might as well just go for row 2 at this point. Definitely had clean ways to get set up for a row 2 Tetris. There it is, the Tetris will be scored. 303 to now 350. A little bit over the halfway mark. So we are looking at some very high 500s. In the case of Cobra, we're even looking at a 600, low 600 rather. A couple of burns going to be forced over there on Cobra's side as both players wait on this eyepiece. And I like Scooty's commitment to these placements. Fortunately, eyepiece nowhere to be found, but hold on, Cobra getting up towards the top. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs, Himalizer. But right now, something that Cobra needs is to not give Scooty a gift. Cobra, nice down stacking effort. Good burns. That S piece is gonna help. Single, single, single. Would love another S or T piece. Either or works. Wasn't able to quite find it. And just like that, Cobra is clean, but you gotta pay for your shovel somehow. Scooty has now closed the gap to just 1.5 Tetrises. 413,000 for Cobra, knocking down 2 quick Tetrises to try and extend the gap. 389,000 for Scooty. So far, Scooty has been able to string along Tetrises consecutively. There was a scary moment for Cobra. He did survive, and you know that's arguably the most important thing to take away from that particular infraction, was that Cobra was able to survive. Had he topped out, Scooty would have gone up 2-1. And you know, let it not be understated how hard it is to perform at levels that these players have been performing over the last 2 games consecutively, especially Cobra. He's mentioned it himself, you know, here, that was, you know, he got back-to-back comp PBs. And being put under that pressure, that level of performance is like, I gotta keep playing. I am going up against the #1 seed. I'm going up against Blue Scooty. And right now, that's exactly Cobra's goal, is to keep playing. The board's getting up high. Oh, actually commits for a slightly aggressive placement, but does find the eyepiece. Opens up the well, sets up the delay burn with the Z, and nicely burns out. Gonna commit to a couple more burns with that L piece. Beautiful flat double into another double, and that's transition. The well is covered. But Cobra opens up the well. Love an eyepiece or an L piece. Finds the eyepiece, knocks down a Tetris. Cobra survives. 501 now for Blue Scooty. 532 for Cobra, knocks down another one, goes up to 557. And another one for Scooty at 525. Wow. What a scary dig to encounter right at transition. I was just, you know, mesmerized by Cobra trying to downstack, trying to survive. I didn't even pay attention to the line count. And being able to stay that clutch, even with that just sudden jolt of speed when you know you're up that high, truly a masterful dig from Cobra. However, that dig does not mean that the game is over. 602 now for Scooty, 617 for Cobra. Scooty with a noticeable pace advantage as he is behind in lines. No Tetris will be scored over there for Scooty, taking the lead, but Cobra takes it right back. Nice skim. Tetris for both players, slightly off sync. But another Tetris will be scored for Scooty. 687 and now 681. Another Tetris scored for Cobra, but how is he going to deal with these pieces? These holes are in awkward formations. Another Tetris for Scooty, separated only by 4,000 points of these 2 players right now. Another Tetris, or not another Tetris. Scooty having to do a couple of burns to get set up for the Tetris. Now another Tetris has been scored. And a dirty Tetris will be scored over there from Cobra. 752 to 752, separated by 140 points. Not 140,000, 140 points at that moment. But Scooty's gonna knock down the Tetris, so widen that separation a little bit more. Cobra would love another T or a Z. Now converts that into a ST dependency. Covers up the well. Another Tetris over there for Scooty. 843. Cobra reopens up the well. Taking a safety double. Another Tetris for Cobra. And a Tetris for Scooty. 874. Not going to adjust for the O piece. Scooty is going to try and get pieces over there to the left. Good T-skim. Tetris for Scooty, 908 now. Cobra at 802. Another Tetris for Cobra, goes up to 835. And Scooty, that left side. Oh my gosh, what? How do you get that over? That's insane. Another Tetris is going to be scored over there from Scooty. 952. A concerning left, but he said, don't worry about it. Another Tetris over there for Cobra. Beautiful tuck sequence over there for Scooty. 987 now. This is the first semis. Yeah, do have another semis match between Dog and Miles up next. Max out for Cobra, max out for Scooty. 828 to now 808. Cobra getting up high, but knocks down a Tetris. Goes up to 847 into the lead, but Scooty takes it right back. 866 now for Scooty. That left side, that's the 5-tap that's going to have to be hit over there for Scooty. Things are getting up high. Hits the 5-tap, very crucial right there. Able to bring the stack down. Cobra also, both players kind of just trying to get built up for a Tetris. And Scooty's going to bring the board into a more safer posture, trying to get some more uniformity. Cobra is set up for a Tetris. Scooty, not quite. Has a couple more burn lines to execute. Good T adjustment. A72 now for Cobra, A90 for Scooty. Cobra is getting in danger. He needs this eyepiece. That misdrop, that might be fatal. It is fatal. Cobra tops out at A72. Scooty is good for game number 3. Wait. There it is. That's a nasty drought. All right, we got it ready from both players. Let's go ahead and count them down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So here it is, game number 4. Cobra, 1 game away from being eliminated. Scooty, 1 game away from advancing to the finals. And if I'm remembering correctly, according to what Scooty said earlier, last year in Lone Star, he didn't win a match. But this year, he's finding himself almost in the finals. I mean, a lot has happened over the past 365 days. Not even sure if that's exactly how long ago Lone Star was, but I'm sure you guys get the point. A lot has happened, and we've seen growth from players basically all throughout this tournament. And already, it looks like players are having to deal with some testy pieces. Not very easy to find good ways to be efficient. However, Cobra is going to take a 1 Tetris lead. And looks like things should be stable for now. That overhang that Cobra set up might be a tad bit of a concern, as that S-piece, yeah, really poor timing on that S-piece. And it's those kind of moments that we saw from Scooty in the past couple of games that have allowed Cobra in the past to build up that lead going into level 8 or going into level 19. As I said, 40 lines in, you know, your opener, 173 for Scooty, 155 for Cobra, and that is a 3 high Vits. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. Oh, wow. 3 burn lines. Not bad. Normally, this time Cobra sets up a regular Vits. Let's see how long he's waiting. We're looking at 7 pieces so far. $20 pieces almost before an eyepiece was received. And both players are able to find Tetrises off the next couple of eyepieces. But that is, in fact, a Vits. Looks like things should be fine. Both players knock down Tetris. 229 for Cobra, 251 for Scooty. Cobra does find that eyepiece. Needed it for that dependency. And we got a bit for the bits. Thank you so much for the bit. And a safety double happened to be taken over there by Scooty. Either way, this is a very close 18. You could argue the closest 18 that we've seen throughout this entire set. And we're still waiting on this long bar. There it is, Tetris over there for Scooty. Another Tetris for Scooty. Tetris for Cobra, but a misdrop on the S. There's another Tetris for Cobra. 310 and now 349. There is actually, oh wow, a lot of S's there. But Cobra's able to find a good way to place them. Able to get that hole on the right-hand side open. Would probably like to stop getting S's at about now. Okay, now S's would be fine. Small adjustment over there from Cobra. And goes for the flat L placement. Interesting, it's gonna cost some more burn lines. But he should be fine. 318 and now 420. It's now a Scooty with a 100,000 point lead. Both players now clean and established. Oh, I love that delay burn setup over there from Cobra. And the pieces are going to reward him. Keep his board in a good enough spot to where if an eyepiece comes, when it comes, there it is. Tetris will be scored 375 to now 471. Once again, 100,000 point lead. Nice adjustment on the O to accommodate the S over there for Cobra. And about now, that's a triple. Both players knock down Tetris's 404 to 494. This is it. We're heading into the level 19 transition. Could this be the last transition of this match? Or is Cobra going to force us to yet again another decider? Cobra has seen himself in this position before, earlier up against DMJ, and he was able to clutch up then. There's a Tetris for Scooty. He's going to transition 543. There's a Tetris for Cobra. He's going to transition 452. So 100,000 points almost is Cobra behind in terms of where they transitioned at. And over 100,000 points is what Cobra is behind real time. Both players knock down Tetris's. Cobra now JP's dependent, filling in the dependency, and knocks down another Tetris to go up to 527. Another Tetris to be scored for Scooty. Left side, a bit of a concern. And this is a small window of opportunity for Cobra to close the gap. There's a Tetris for Cobra. And Scooty able to now finally start scoring once again. 667 and now, or 677 to now 609. Another Tetris for Cobra and then Tetris for Scooty. Clean play over here on level 20 so far from both players. Cobra gonna opt for the safety double. It's gonna work out fine. Good S pieces over there for Cobra. Perfect utilization of them. Very good stacking over here for Cobra and Scooty. Cobra's not alone in how well that both these players are playing, which that's great to hear if you're Scooty, but that's, you know, a bit scary to hear if you're Cobra. You know you're playing just as efficient as Scooty. The lead hasn't really changed since transition, which means that you're just not making any progress. Scooty is just matching Cobra's efficiency. There hasn't really been moments where either player has been able to exceed the efficiency of one another. There's another Tetris over there for Cobra. Scooty, oh, opting for an eye placement there. Maybe didn't see that he was Tetris ready. 891 and now at 790. Another Tetris set up for both players. As Cobra is on level 25, Scooty on level 26, knocks down a Tetris, goes up to 927. Cobra is actually a lot closer than what it appears to be. Another Tetris over here for Cobra. Scooty goes into level 27, 892 to now 963. Cobra has actually been able to successfully close the gap somewhere. There's just some degrees of efficiency that he found that Scooty could not. There's a Tetris for Scooty. Not quite the max, but there's a Tetris for Cobra. 2 more and we'll see the max. There's the max out for Scooty, 834. 1,034,000 points. There's the Tetris for Cobra. There's the Tetris for Cobra. There's the max for him. Scooty with just over a 1 Tetris lead. All right, here it is. 29 is here. 880 for Scooty. Cobra going for one last max, or one last Tetris. Preferably not one last max if he's able to win this one. 846 now for Cobra. Both players on level 29. Scooty looking for an L or a J. Gets Tetris ready with the J and knocks down a Tetris. Goes up to B40. Cobra trying to get something built up for something here on level, a couple misstrokes over there for Scooty. But Cobra's trying to get built up for something here on level 20. Pieces aren't necessarily allowing for a setup that he would like. Scooty having to do some burns following a couple of misdrops on level 20, but now he's back down to the bottom on level 21. Cobra gets a crucial eyepiece. Nice placement, beautiful flat burns, as well as not open. He needs to hit this 5-tap, can't do it. Cobra at A70 is gonna be done. Blue Scooty takes game number 4 and advances to your finals. Hello. Looks like we're gonna finish off with a 1.4 over here for Scooty. Well played by both. Up next, we're gonna have. Okay.
Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. Join our Discord server, the largest classic Tetris community online, at ctm.gg/discord, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.